guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and I just wanted to say first, thanks for stopping by, and again, welcome. In this video, I will be discussing what it is like to be pregnant during COVID-19. I say that as positive as I can be, of course, since there's not much else we can do. So thank you again for stopping, and we'll start with the video. A little backstory: I am 38 weeks pregnant as of today with a baby girl. We found out that we were expecting on Friday the 13th. It was September 13th, 2019. And it feels like it has been so long ago since that day, but we were extremely excited. We had been trying for a couple years, and we were very excited to find out that we were expecting. Well, moving on to this pandemic, we started getting affected by this probably the week of March 6th. I think that's when we were told to start working from home. So my husband and I have both been working from home since then, which we are super thankful for. For the baby, we had a lot of things planned. So we had our maternity pictures scheduled for the first weekend of April. We had our baby shower scheduled for the weekend of April 18th. All of these things we have never experienced before. So I am a first-time mom. And at that time, we had still been going to appointments every 4 weeks. Then things started to change a little bit. We were first contacted by the place that we rented for our baby shower, and they notified us that since the entire state was practically closing, they informed us that we were just one day away from not being able to have our baby shower. So they called my husband, and he told them that we were going to think it over and reach back out to them to let them know what we decided to do. They did ask us if we wanted to go ahead and cancel or wait it out, and if we were to cancel, of course, they were offering refunds on all of the costs. So yeah, we had to think about that and see what we wanted to do. At that point, after talking it over, we decided to go ahead and cancel our baby shower. We have lots of people in our family that we were worried about. We just didn't think that it was worth the risk. Now, having a baby shower is just one of those materialistic things that don't necessarily make a difference. We're still expecting to have a baby, and that is such a positive thing. However, I was still super bummed about having to cancel. It's just one of those things that I looked forward to, being a first-time mom, having everyone come and shower the baby with love. At this point, we hadn't decided what we were going to do. I know a lot of people have had to cancel their baby showers during this time, and it's just a really big bummer, with us expecting to be able to have all of those fun times with our family and friends. And so this was something that it took a little while to kind of, I guess, recuperate from. But, in the end, we just wanted to make sure everyone was safe. It wasn't long after that when our photographer reached out to us, letting us know that she has decided to go ahead and cancel all of her appointments. So this was the hit number 2, maternity pictures that we were looking forward to taking, my husband and I. I had outfits figured out. I was really looking forward to being able to share those pictures with my family and friends. And I've never had maternity pictures before. So, with it being the first time, I wanted to go all out. I know some people don't care about those kinds of things. And I know that it is, again, materialistic. Those things don't matter. It doesn't take away the happiness of having a baby. But it was something that I was looking forward to. I know a lot of people had reached out to me, letting me know some tips on how to take maternity pictures by yourself with just your camera on your phone. And so it was something that my husband and I were going to have to discuss and see what we were going to do differently. I know a lot of things come up in life, and so this is just one more thing that we were, just going to have to get through. that is when the appointment started looking a little bit different. So I did want to discuss that part. I know that a lot of hospitals are different, a lot of states are different, I know a lot of countries are different, and so I just wanted to kind of share my experience with what it was like going to just our regular appointments. So the first week of April, we had an appointment scheduled, and then from that point on, we were going to be going to the appointments every other week until we get to the appointments where you go every week. And so that first week of April, I was contacted by my doctor's office, and they had notified me that we were still going to go forward with our appointment that week. Things were going to look a little bit different. So they told me to stay in the car when I got to the appointment, to call the office when I got there, and then they would reach out to the nurse. The nurse would call me back, letting me know when I can meet them at the front door. And they did notify me that there is no support people allowed at the appointments. And so they were very generous and said that my husband can stay in the car. And so this was all kind of a shock to me. My husband had thankfully been going to every appointment with me up until that point. So we had a little challenge getting pregnant, and we ended up having to go see a fertility specialist, which I will do a video on with our experience with that later on. But he was at every single one of my appointments, and I am so thankful for him and so grateful that he was there with me. When they informed me that my husband could not be in the room with me, I was super bummed. My husband was super bummed, but we understood that this is a crazy time that we live in. And it was, again, one of those things that we're just going to have to keep pushing through. At that time, they did notify me that my appointment scheduled for 2 weeks from then would need to be canceled. They said at that time it wasn't really necessary to have an appointment every couple weeks, and that we could go another 4 weeks with the appointment. So that is when one of my appointments got canceled. And so that was something that I wasn't expecting either. The first week of April, I went to my appointment, and when we showed up, I did what they said. I called. When I got there, they notified me that the nurse would be calling, and everything so far was okay. It was a change, of course. When we first showed up, there were a couple people in the parking lot waiting. When it was time for me to meet the nurse at the door, I walked up to the door and I was patiently waiting, and there was a couple that came in, or was trying to come in right behind me, and I was kind of concerned that maybe the message hasn't been brought across from the doctor's office. They do have a paper on the door with a red stop sign with instructions on staying in your vehicle, calling the office when you get there. And so I just kind of snuck in when the nurse let me in, and then the door kind of just shut behind us. So I don't know what happened to them after that. But what it looked like when I got there, there was nobody in the waiting room. They were not having that. And the nurse was completely face mask. The doctor had his scrubs on with a face mask. They were not having you test your urine either. I was very shocked about that. At every single appointment, they ask you to leave a urine sample, and so they weren't having that anymore. Moving forward, everything was fine at my appointment. I had no changes, everything looked good, and so we were just expecting to be seen 4 weeks from again, then. I am 38 weeks, and so I have been to a couple appointments since then. Everything has looked practically the same. The only difference is now they have you text this phone number just saying arrived. They will reach out to you, and so they can get you checked in, make sure that your insurance is the same, your address is the same, make sure that you do not have any COVID symptoms, and then they'll inform you that they will be letting the nurse know that you are there and ready for them, and then the nurse would be contacting you. So it doesn't take very long. The nurse will call, and then they just go through asking if you had any changes with your symptoms, any pain or anything like that. There is one more thing that has changed just in a couple weeks. So my appointment last week, they asked if you had a mask, and if you do have a mask, they asked if you wear it. So this week, I got a text message from the doctor's office that says patients over the age of 2 and can tolerate a face mask should do so, and again, no visitors allowed. So this is what it looks like right now for the appointments. My appointment this week is tomorrow, so I will do a video on what that looks like when I'm trying to reach out to the office, letting them know that I'm there and checking in, just to give you more of an idea of the process. Now, I wanted to talk to you about what it looks like in the hospital as of right now. My doctor did say that things could change. They have changed several times already. But at this point, with me being a couple weeks away from my due date, he doesn't expect it to change a whole lot. One of the main things that I am so thankful for is they are allowing support people in the hospital. Just one support person. You can't have any other visitors, unfortunately. That was super hard to deal with at the time when we first found out about this. I was hoping that my mom could be in the hospital room with us, helping me through the delivery with my husband, and that was a big letdown, but I am so thankful that my husband can still be there. I don't know if I could do it without him. I know obviously I would if I had to, but I did not want to go through delivery and labor without my husband being there. This is something he hasn't experienced before either, so it's something that we wanted to experience together. I want my husband to be there if something were to go wrong, or if I needed an emergency C-section, or just to be there as my support person. One more thing that we found out recently, they have decided to start testing all OB patients at the hospital for COVID. So as soon as you get to the hospital, you will get screened. You have to wear a mask until your test results come back. At this time, they are not testing the support person. They are only testing mama, which they said the results should come back in 2 to 3 hours. So you do have to wear a mask until your test results come back. Obviously, if you test positive for COVID-19, you still have to deliver a baby. So they are changing things to make it a little bit different. You still can have a support person, and the main reason for that is as soon as the baby is born, they will do everything that it takes to make sure that the baby does not get COVID-19. So somebody needs to be there to be the support person for the baby, to make all decisions and be the primary caretaker. I don't want to think about that. Obviously, it sounds like there will be some sort of quarantine between mama and baby. I know that that is for precautionary. It is the best thing for the baby to make sure that the little one does not get sick, but that is a super hard thing to deal with. I can't even imagine. I'm sure that there are people that have had to experience that recently. I'm so sorry that you've had to go through that, if that is something that you had to do. Aside from getting your brain scratched, that's the only thing that has really changed with the hospital. My doctor did make me feel better by explaining that you still are going to have a baby. This is still going to be a happy time. There are no visitors allowed in the hospital right now, so unfortunately you can't have your family and friends come up and see the baby and meet the baby, but you're still going to have that child. So he kept telling me, because I went in, with a few tears here and there, and he said, I don't want you to take away the happiness from having a baby because of all the things that are going on in the world. So I just have to stay as positive as possible, and I hope all of you guys stay positive as can be. And if you're having one of those days where things are looking a little tough, when you're kind of just sad, I mean, the past couple of days we've had nothing but gloomy weather, and that has not helped whatsoever. But I am thinking of you, and I know that we'll all get through this. I know that there are people who have been through this, and congratulations on your little ones if you are one to have had to go through pregnancy and delivery during this pandemic. This past week has been a little bit stressful just because we've also been notified once you're in the hospital, there is not to be anyone leaving. So support people. You are there to stay. For some, this is not a big deal. For us, we have had to change our plans just a little bit. We were planning on my husband's coming home from the hospital and not staying there with me. We do have a beautiful puppy who is asleep right now in the baby room. As you can see, I'm in the baby room. And so we were just expecting him to come home and take care of her and love her, and we were planning on bringing home some of the baby items so that she can smell them once the baby's here. And so this was a huge change. I didn't have a hospital bag packed for my husband at all, and I just had things for myself, and we had no plans for Ellie besides Josh coming home and taking care of her. So being pregnant, being hormonal, I have been a little stressed trying to figure out what we're going to do with our baby girl while we are delivering our human baby girl. She's like, I know that you're talking about me. She was just asleep just seconds ago. Oh, okay. I think she's going to plop back down. Anyway, so we have decided to reach out to Josh's stepmom, asking if there's any way that she could possibly watch our baby girl while we are in the hospital, and they have agreed to do so. So they have never met Ellie before. There's a little bit of a story behind that, but we have not been out to their house for a few years. Now Ellie is up and about now, trying to figure out what is going on with all the stuff in the baby room. But anyway, so this is kind of a challenge. We wanted Ellie to be able to go to their house and become familiar with the living area and their critters. So they have cats, and Ellie has never met a cat before. She also does not have any furry siblings, so she has been around other dogs, of course. She's never stayed the night with another dog or any of that sort, but she has met other dogs and she does have some dog friends. But this is going to be a change for her too. So we have been taking Ellie over to their house. We've done it twice so far, and the first time she had just met a cat, one of the cats, and you know, there was some hissing involved, there was some barking. Ellie was just super curious of what she was. What is this thing hissing at me and making all of these weird noises? So that was the first day. The second day that we brought her over, Ellie seemed to do a little bit better inside the house and outside of the house. So they do have a fenced-in backyard, and she loves being outside and loves being able to run freely. We live in a townhouse, so we don't have a big yard for her. So that was something that we were really looking forward to, was just having her have some free time outside and to kill off some of that energy that she has. She is 2 years old, so she does still have quite a bit of energy. And so this time she got a little bit closer to the cats. So one cat in particular is very curious of what Ellie is doing. She has shown signs of not liking Ellie. So this is going to be very interesting. So I had the kitty in my lap, and Ellie walked up to us, and Kitty did not know what was going on, and she maybe thought Ellie was getting too close to her or something. I don't know, but Ellie got pawed at a couple times. Thankfully, she did not get hurt. She thankfully missed the pot every single time. However, I kind of got in the middle of it since she was on my lap at the time. I did get a scratch on both of my legs, you know, which is no big deal. You know, it didn't hurt. I'm fine, you know, any of that sort. But now I'm just worried that Ellie is going to be attacked. This kitty does run away sometimes, but other times she almost wants to, it's like she wants to get Ellie. So I don't know, it will be really interesting. I'm worried, my husband's worried. We obviously don't want our dog to get hurt in any way. This is going to be a stressful time for her, so we don't want to make it any more stressful. Now we're just going to kind of wait and see how things go. So we're going back out there this weekend. We're just going to keep doing this every few days. Just go out there with Ellie. We are going to leave her there for some time. You know, not like a few hours or anything like that, but maybe just like a half an hour or an hour and see how she does without us being there. So we'll see how that works out. I'm super nervous. I'm worried, like I said, but it's something that we are just going to have to do. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody to come and stay at our house to watch Ellie. We don't want to ask anyone else to go through this process with us. You know, a lot of our family and friends, they do still work and they have their own lives and their own families, and so we don't want to be a burden. We just found out about this last week, like I said, so it's something that kind of came on very suddenly, and we just thought that this was going to be the best decision. His stepmom is at home all day long, and so we just felt more comfortable with her being able to do this. And I know that she will give her all the love in the world while we are in the hospital. So we will see how that goes. So I will keep you updated on that. But that's pretty much all I had for this video. So just some things that have been changing for our doctor's appointments in the hospital. After this, I will show you the video that we take at my appointment tomorrow. Again, just giving you a better idea of what that looks like while we're checking in. And at the end of the video, I will let you know if there had been any changes at the hospital or the appointments or anything like that. So we just got to the doctor's office and I'm going to go ahead and text saying arrived. So I'll go ahead and do that. I have to spell it correctly. Arrived. So I just get a text message back from them letting me know that they've received the text message. So now we'll just kind of wait to hear from them. Hey, so they're calling. Hi, this is Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. This is Lisa calling to check in for your appointment.
Hi.
All right. Hi. Just have a few quick screening here questions for you. Let me know if you answer yes to having any of the following symptoms, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have a fever, cough, shortness of breath, unable to taste or smell?
Nope.
All right. Address, phone number, insurance all still the same?
Yep.
Okay. And is it the same insurance card?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Do you have a face mask with you today?
I do.
All right. You are encouraged to wear that into the building. And go ahead and remain inside your vehicle. A nurse will be calling you here shortly when it's time to have you come to the door so she can bring you in.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so now the nurse is calling. Hi, this is Caitlin.
Hey, Caitlin, it's Abby at the Ankeny Clinic. I'm ready to meet you at the door. Do you have a face mask?
I do.
Okay, I'll have you wear that in the building, okay?
Okay, I'll meet you there.
All right, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay, so now here's my lovely mask. So uncomfortable to wear. And now I'm ready. I'm home now for my doctor's appointment. I didn't really have any changes from a couple weeks ago when they checked to see if I was dilated. And so maybe I'm at a 1. It was hard telling, but we'll see how I am doing next week. Thank you so much for stopping in, watching the video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will get back to you. A couple videos I am working on are to show what we did for our baby shower. We ended up doing a web baby shower. Sorry. Here is my crazy puppy. She is making lots of noise right now. But so I will finish that video so I can show you. I know a lot of people have had to cancel their showers like we were talking about in the video before. And so I will share some tips and how we did it and how that turned out in an upcoming video. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.